Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Helium 10 Weekly Buzz. My name is Bradley Sutton, and this is the show where we get you familiar with the latest news in the Amazon and e-commerce space. We interview people in the industry you need to hear from and provide a training tip of the week that will give you serious strategies for serious sellers of any level in the e-commerce world. Let's go ahead and see what's buzzing this week. Now, we've got a jam-packed episode as usual. We're going to be talking about a super cool new function in search query performance that is in Amazon. We have some strategies about Walmart fulfillment, as well as a way to see all of the frequently bought together products that a product has been associated with lately, not just the one or two that you might see on an Amazon page. So make sure to stay tuned to the end for that. All right, let's go ahead and hop first into the news. The first article I want to talk about is actually not really an article at all. It's about an update to the search query performance. Now, we've been talking about search query performance for a long time. Here, I did an episode about this in the regular Serious Sellers podcast a while back, and talked about how to use that compared to the rest of brand analytics, and also the product growth or the growth opportunity explorer that you see in your dashboard. Really cool how Amazon is releasing a lot of things. Now, at the time we talked about search query performance, you could only see it at the brand level, meaning that it gave you really cool numbers as far as what your conversion rate and what's going on in the niche and what's going on with certain keywords. But like, let's say, for example, like Manny's Mysterious Oddities, our coffin shelf brand, we have about 7 different products under that brand. So the numbers we would see is kind of for the brand overall. But update was recently made where now it's actually showing at the ASIN level. All right, I'm going to share my screen here for those of you who are watching on YouTube here at this new update. And you can see up here at the top left, there's a brand view button, and now there's an ASIN view button. Now here's the interesting thing. This technically is going to be great information, and I already see lots of use cases for how we're performing. But just a word of caution, sometimes this data kind of conflicts with a lot of data that you see in Amazon. So I would just use this almost like by itself, but not try and compare it to other brand analytics or to try and make too much sense out of the complete details. I think this is great to look at what your most important keywords are. But for example, look at our number one keyword here for our main Project X coffin shelf. It actually says here at the end that we had 2 purchases for this. Now, if you add all the keywords that it said we had purchases on, it's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So 6 total purchases. Now, this is for the whole week of 21st to the 27th. All right. So now if you look at our actual sales for the week of the 21st to the 27th, there was 33 units. So first of all, I'm just not sure yet what this is referring to, because it's basically saying that, hey, only 6 of your sales came from search, and we had 33 sales. Now, I'm not doing a lot of off Amazon traffic. I'm not running Google ads. I'm not running Facebook ads. I don't have influencers, sharing my products. So I don't have an outside, website that I'm sending people to. So I'm not sure exactly what this is, but there was no way that only 6 of our purchases now, came from search. So this is obviously talking about something else, and I'm not exactly sure what yet. Now, keep going here. Maybe you might think, hey, maybe it's only the PPC. It took out the PPC orders. Well, here's our PPC orders for the week. It's more than 2. It says 4 here. I actually did some digging, and what happens is this is talking about there's actually only 3 orders that came from PPC. The other order came from this campaign, but it was for a different product. But right here, you can see by itself, even PPC is more than the number that it says. So this is just kind of a little bit, strange to understand what exactly this is. As far as the whole week's orders for this coffin shelf, there was 7 PPC orders. So another thing to look at is back on this page, you are going to see that it says 15% click share on the word coffin shelf, or actually 9%, I should say. 9% clicks out of all the clicks that happen. Now, if I were to compare that to brand analytics here in the same date range, coffin shelf, the number of clicks that our click share that we had would be, take a look here, 15%. So even just the same metric is different here. So, and this is both within brand analytics. Actually, search query performance is within brand analytics. Now, another thing that I found strange, which I definitely want to, be able to get some information from Amazon on, is it says that 41 people added our coffin shelf to the cart, all right, during this week. But again, only 2 purchased. Like, there's absolutely no ways that if we're talking about apples to apples, that there's 39 people out there, that more than 95% of the people out there were like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and add this coffin shelf to my cart, but I'm not going to purchase it. Like that's just like an insane number. I've told you guys before that I don't even think that I ever have added something to the cart and not purchased. Now I know other people do, but there's no way that 95% do it. So again, I think there's some information here that is going to get kind of like tweaked later on, and then Amazon hopefully will show it more. Now, Sell and Scale Summit is coming up. Amazon advertising is going to be in the house at the Sell and Scale Summit, so I'm definitely going to be talking to them a little bit about some of these details. Now, diving a little bit more into the details, let's go to this brand analytics again. Let's go into coffin shelves, plural, for the week. Now, if you look in brand analytics, I wasn't even one of the top 3 clicked, but that doesn't matter. Here's a product here, Gothic Curiosities for the coffin shelf, that it says got 100% of the conversions, meaning that 100% of the sales after a search of coffin shelves was this other product. It wasn't me. Now, if I'm looking here back in the search query performance coffin shelves, it says I actually got 1 order for this. So obviously this other product didn't get 100% because I got 1. And it kind of goes back and forth. Again, guys, where some of this data just doesn't line up with other brand analytics. So just be careful when you're trying to compare one Amazon metric to another until this kind of gets a little bit fleshed out. But guys, the amount of detail here is really, really great. So the potential here is awesome to have some kind of like game-changing insights into your ASIN's performance once this kind of gets fleshed out. So guys, just another reason to have brand analytics or brand registry on Amazon so that you can have access to this. Now, our next article here is from this website called Modern Retail, and it's called Why Swoon Abandoned Its DTC Arm and is Using Amazon to Fulfill All Its Online Orders. I found this very interesting because this is a brand I didn't hear, I've never heard of. I don't think they're that big, but they're actually in all Targets and other stores. Now, this article talked about, they're like, you know what? We just figured it's better to fulfill from Amazon instead of trying to fulfill ourselves. So if you go to their website, and I did that right now at tasteswoon.com, you'll see exactly what this article is talking about. Anywhere in their website, everything just points you to Amazon now. And it's actually interesting. I was like going on their newest product, and I actually bought this product because it looks so good, a matcha lemonade. Watch what happens when I hit their shop on Amazon here. It takes me to Amazon. I don't know if you guys can see this here. You can't really see it. Or you kind of maybe can. They're using a kind of like old school super URL to put that I searched for Swoon matcha lemonade in here. So first of all, Swoon, if you're watching this, guys, you're gonna get in trouble for this. So don't be trying to, stick a keyword search or super URL. The old super URL with a QID and everything is in their URL that they're using to go. I'm not sure if they're trying to manipulate their search performance or search rankings or whatever, but they're doing that. But again, the point of this article is that they are now, they went away from fulfilling themselves. And this is a, decent sized brand. If they're in Target and things, it's not huge. I think they're doing, a couple $1 million on Amazon the last I checked, but, is this a trend? You saw also Peloton recently, move to Amazon for some of their products too. So it's interesting to see people are understanding the power of Amazon fulfillment. Now, next article is from Australia, and it's from a digital commerce, and it's entitled Ecommerce in Australia Grows at a Steady Clip. Now, this is interesting because there's some interesting numbers here where there's over 13 million active Facebook users in Australia. 40% only use credit card and debit accounts, and 26% of e-commerce transactions in Australia occur on the mobile phone. Now, here's the thing that I found interesting. The number one e-commerce website in Australia is actually eBay. All right, eBay, 69 million visits a month, and Amazon only 22 million. But it talks about that, hey, Australia is getting bigger. Revenue is projected to reach 32 billion. E-commerce next year is the 11th largest in the world. And Amazon is definitely increasing at a rapid rate as well. So guys, if you want to break into the Australian Amazon market, Helium 10 works in Australia. So make sure to take advantage of Helium 10's tools in Amazon Australia. Next one is just a email I actually got in my email a couple of days ago from Amazon. Kind of interesting. It says, hey, now you can use 7-day details, or 7-day deal details, I should say, on the primary product of your campaign in the Manage Your Customer engagement tool. All right, so manage your customers, that's if you have brand followers and then you're able to kind of reach out to them. Now, so far, I have not heard much success with this. Like, the click-through rates aren't amazing. Conversion's not great. But again, this is very rare for Amazon to give you to, like, say, hey, we want you to go ahead and contact and reach out to people that are your customers. Usually you can't do that. So manage your customer engagement is definitely something to get started in. I haven't yet. I'm going to need to get started on that soon. Last article is actually another email from Amazon, and it talked about restock limit changes to prepare for the 2022 holiday season. Now, this is an interesting article because it said it's only going to affect about 5% of sellers, but that, through the holidays, you're going to be able to use store 4 months worth of inventory there. So that's why it said it's not really going to affect that many people, because most people have less than 4 months worth of inventory. Now, the thing that I'm curious about is, what if you have almost all seasonal products or giftable products? I'm wondering, what are they using to look at your sales velocity? Like, if you have products that sell 10x or 20x during November and December, like Christmas lights or something like that, if they're looking at your sales velocity for the last few months, well, 4 months of that sales velocity might not be too much. So it's something worth looking at. So if you have seasonal products that just sell bonkers, I would go back into your inventory levels, and check your inventory limits. All right, so check your inventory limits and see what number they just put you at. So go check if they have lowered your thresholds. All right, that's it for the news this week. Let's go ahead and get into the rest of the show. Now, the next thing I wanted to have right here is just a clip about Walmart. All right, now we all know Amazon FBA. What is Walmart's version of FBA? Well, Carrie's going to introduce this next clip.
I get asked quite often how Walmart fulfillment fees compare to Amazon FBA fees. So in this next Freedom Ticket snippet, I talk with David Milstein from Cellcord, and he goes into detail about fulfillment fees for Walmart. All right, David, let's talk about Walmart fulfillment fees and how they might compare to Amazon fulfillment fees.
Sure. So WFS is definitely competitive with FBA. It's slightly cheaper and overall just as beneficial. So let's go through the two different fees that Walmart has. So there's the fulfillment fee as well as the storage fees. And we're just going to go to this screenshot over here as we could see the different fees. So we have what's called a Walmart weight. The Walmart weight is determined based on the length, width, and height of the product. So length times width times height divided by 139, and that's compared to the weight of the product itself. So whichever is higher, that is what's considered the Walmart weight. And based on that weight that we've determined, there's now different fees. So you have for the 1 pound, 2 pound, 3 pound, and then it goes increasing from there, both by we have the basics, which most sellers are going to have 1 to 5 pounds, and then we have for some of the larger items, 20 pounds all the way up. And as you can see, there's different price points, how it increases per pound, between 4 and 20 pounds, and so on. Now, just to note here, anything from 31 pounds and above, as you can see, it is a lower shipping cost, and that is because there is not going to be 2-day delivery, because it's going to have to go ground due to the size. Now, in addition to this, there are 2 more things we need to factor in. The first is we need to add a 1/4 pound for packaging. So in addition to the Walmart weight that we determined, just add a quarter pound, and that is going to be your actual weight of your product. And for apparel and hazmat items, there is an additional 50-cent charge. So those are just the two things to note. Now, the other fee is the storage fee, which is broken down into the typical season as well as peak season, which is the fourth quarter, October to December. And the rate is 75 cents per cubic foot per month. And for peak season, it's an additional $1.50 per month if it's been in inventory for more than 30 days. So it's really, if you're selling your products and they're moving fast, you should be good over here, but you are subject to that additional charge if you have your inventory sitting there. So there's one more charge that if you do have inventory sitting for over a year, they do charge you a high fee of $7.50 per cubic foot per month. They're just trying to make sure that you're not just leaving your inventory over there. So make sure to keep your inventory only what's selling. If you have a product that's not selling, just get rid of it. But a year is really a long time to really try get that product to move. If you are dealing with oversized items, there's this little graph around the bottom for those fees and how they're charged.
If you want to continue watching this module, you can check out Week 11 in Freedom Ticket 3.0. It's Module 11.18, Walmart Fulfillment Services, where we go into detail about how Walmart Fulfillment Services works and so much more. So check it out.
All right. Well, this next clip is going to be about frequently bought together. This is a super important way to be able to know how to do special kinds of advertising against actual certain products. And a lot of people do not realize that with Helium 10, you have full visibility into the history of frequently bought together. Let's take a look at this clip and see how. How do you guys choose which products to advertise against in product targeting ads or potentially sponsored display ads? I'm going to show you guys a technique in this video that I would say 95% of Amazon sellers are not using. Let's go ahead and hop right into Amazon so I can kind of explain it. Now, one thing that I think people look at sometimes when they're wondering who to target is products that are similar, and you see that here on this neck pillow listing that I've got here, in the products related to this item, almost everything here are similar neck pillows, right? But one thing that smarter sellers are doing is they are checking out the frequently bought together. So for example, the frequently bought together with this neck pillow here looks like a 3D contoured sleeping mask. All right. So what does this mean? Like, how does something even show up here in this frequently bought together? Well, this is what Amazon's data is showing, where people in the same checkout experience are buying both of these. There used to be a section in Amazon called customer also bought. There's almost none of these. Amazon has kind of like phased that out. But the frequently bought together, it's like, hey, I add a neck pillow to my shopping cart. Well, before I check out, I'm also adding this eye mask to the shopping cart, and I check out at the same time. So when this happens more than once, Amazon doesn't say exactly how many times it happens to show up here. They're going to show it up and frequently bought together. And it kind of makes sense, because Amazon wants to get, higher ticket items and sell, or higher ticket kind of shopping carts, sell more things at the same time. And so it makes sense that they want to show products to customers that, there's this history of being frequently bought together. So, you notice that this is not even a neck pillow, right? So, sellers for years have always checked out frequently bought together to get ideas on what to target for sponsored targeting. Like if you look here, look at the sponsored display ad. The sponsored display ad is just another neck pillow, which it's not like you shouldn't advertise for neck pillows on your competitors' neck pillow listings, but from the sponsored display, from the product targeting ads right here, all you see are neck pillows. But you should also consider the advertising, if this was your product, against this other product here, which is a sleeping mask, because it's what people would use who buy neck pillows, right? If you're on an airplane and you have a neck pillow, sure, it makes sense that you'd use a sleeping mask as well. So imagine if you were targeting that on this ad, you'd be one of the only ones targeting a non-neck pillow on this. So how do you find these? All right, well, guys, use black box product targeting. Again, this is something that I would say most sellers completely sleep on. So go into Helium 10 black box, hit product targeting, you hit that ASIN in here, and then you go ahead and filter up here for frequently bought together. And what we're going to show you is not just the one, right now you're seeing only one product in frequently bought together on this page, but we're constantly keeping track of this. And so we have now in the last month or so 37 different products that have come up under frequently bought together. And a lot of these are neck pillows. So what I would do is I would use this black box filtering to maybe show the neck pillows maybe that I thought were worse than mine, like maybe their price is higher or their review count is less, or maybe the review rating is less than 4. But I'm also going to use this regardless of those things to find the different kinds of products. And sure enough, here you go. Look at this one here. This is a compression socks that at one point in the last month, it was shown as frequently bought together. Does it make sense that somebody would buy socks and a pillow? You might be thinking, wait a minute, what's up? Well, compression socks is exactly what people use on airplanes in order to keep the blood circulation well. So it makes sense. Here is a footrest pillow. Here is another airplane footrest. And down here's a portable charger. Like that's completely different category. But does it make sense that somebody who's traveling might want a portable battery? Absolutely. And then down here towards the bottom, we can actually see the product that we saw. Here's that sleep eye mask that we saw on the page. So guys, this is an excellent way to get ideas on not just how you can do sponsored display or sponsored targeting ads, but also to get ideas on possible, product line extensions. Like if I'm selling a neck pillow, I just had 4 or 5 other product ideas from this frequently bought together. So guys, if you have Helium 10, this is a no-brainer. It takes like 10 seconds to do. Take your ASIN, take your competitor's ASINs, put it into black box product targeting, find out who or what customers are buying these products with to have ideas on what you can advertise for and potential product line extensions. But even if you don't have Helium 10, make sure that you have somebody going into these pages and refreshing it throughout the month to see what products show up in frequently bought together. Now, our next clip is an interview with one of our product managers at our brand new Market Tracker 360 tool. So let's see what Shivali is asking Austin in this clip.
My name is Shivali Patel, and I am a brand evangelist with Helium 10. And I'm here today with Austin Schaumberg, who is a product manager at Helium 10. So today we are here to talk about some exciting stuff. Market Tracker 360 was released not too long ago. Of course, we had Market Tracker before, but would love for you to not only tell us a little bit about you, but also the differences between Market Tracker and Market Tracker 360.
Yeah, so I'm a product manager here at Helium 10. Been working here for, just shy of 7 or 8 months now, but been pretty much jumping my entire life into, trying to make Market Tracker 360 the latest and greatest in competitive intelligence reporting for Helium 10. In terms of, what's the difference between Market Tracker and Market Tracker 360? Quite a few things, honestly. Really, the only thing that they truly share is that they show calculated information regarding market share and really have the ability to control, you have the ability to control products that come in and out of your market. Past that, Market Tracker 360 is really a brand new reporting tool for competitive intelligence for Helium 10. It really allows for dynamic product updates based on keywords and ASINs, access to over 2 years of historical market data that you pretty much get immediately upon creating a market, as opposed to our previous Market Tracker, which you certainly could go and create a market and collect information historically, but it would be more of a set it and forget it mentality. That, and generally speaking, we just provide a lot more accurate sales data for variations, have the ability for you to apply and create complex filters to really hone in on those areas of interest and opportunity. And, finally, really just the faster market creation times is really a net boon for folks. What used to take, several months for you to develop your market overall for it to sit there and collect information, now you can wait up from 10 to 30 minutes and have a brand new market with about 2 years of historical data for you to access and review.
So what is the latest add to the tool? I mean, we're always doing something new to all of our tools, always looking for the next best upgrade that we can really add value for our consumers. So what have you been really working on?
Yeah, so just recently we released a component called the product analysis page. Essentially, you can think of this as the focal point of many parts of Helium 10 data sets that we kind of coalesce into one thing about a product. So right now, as it stands with our most recent release, you get when you dive into, drill into a given product, you can not only see all of the same historical information, but also with pricing and BSRs included, so revenue, unit sales, data, all of that for the given product for the historical period of time you're looking at. You can also get an understanding of the market averages with the context of the pool of products you're looking at within Market Tracker at the given time. And similarly, you get the listing analyzer score and also like the top 10 Cerebro keywords for top keyword sales, top search volume, and top sales volume. And so immediately when you click on a new product, you're able to kind of dive in and get more insights that you can kind of take action upon for those given products. And in the future, at least in the next sprint or so, we should be done releasing the comparisons component. So you'll be able to take up to 10 products and really drill in and understand what makes that product's keyword sets unique, what are the high value keywords for that or those sets of products, and also what are the shared high value keywords for those sets of products, which you can then take to either go put in against like ad campaigns and Atomic, or similarly add to your own listing to really just modify it to make sure that you're staying on par with all the up and coming products that or top performers within your market.
Would you say that this tool is more for new sellers, for scaling sellers, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So although we encourage anybody to leverage Market Tracker 360 if it seems like an attractive offer to them, we absolutely think that this is really for scaling sellers as well as folks in branding agencies, aggregators, and enterprise organizations as well. We're really looking forward to getting everyone under the sun trying to use this thing, because honestly, I just don't, out of all the competitor products that, we review and kind of take a look at, this one really is starting to become the only one that really integrates all the things that make Helium 10 great, really in a one-stop shop.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for sharing some of your time with us, Austin. I'm sure that people are able to understand Market Tracker 360 and the differences a little bit better.
Fabulous. Appreciate the time. Looking forward to next time.
All right, guys, that does it for our buzz this week. Just before we go, I want you guys to make sure that you are also subscribed to the AM PM podcast. Now, the way you find it on any podcast player is AM and then / PM space podcast. It's hosted by Kevin King. We had a great episode last week with Dr. Travis Ziegler. So make sure to check that out right now. Right after you go ahead and close this episode, switch over to the AM PM podcast and take a listen to the latest episode with Dr. Travis Ziegler. Or if you want to, you can't find it, you can just go to ampmpodcast.com, but it's best to listen to it on a podcast player. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and we'll see you next week to see what's buzzing.